Clear.
Well, you know, every once in a while, Captain T gets to return to the scene of the crime. Someplace we've been, something we've looked at, something we've seen, something that generated a lot of interest. And that would be the case today. Gonna pay a revisit to one of our past flyboy buddies.
Well, I finally finished my flybaby after 20 years and 3 weeks. Started cutting wood on September 8th, 2001. It finished up pretty nicely. I'm overall very happy with it. I built a spray booth. The white is sprayed. It's sprayed enamel or acrylic latex. That worked pretty well. That stuff is really thick. And the first coat, there are places where it just got too heavy, and there's a few blemishes where it got on too heavy. I thinned it to about 25%, and that made it spray more evenly and a little bit better. But overall, the spray of the white turned out really well. I'm really happy with that. Then the accent for the red, I wasn't going to try to spray that because I'm not that good. This is the first time I've sprayed anything like this, so I thought I'm going to brush this on. And from what I've read from other fellows, they roll the latex, and then they brush it out to smooth it out. Well, that didn't work as well as I had hoped. Again, the paint was pretty thick, so at first I got really bad brush lines. I thinned the paint considerably, but there's still brush lines. And that part I'm not real happy about in the red. The engine on this plane is a Corvair. It's a standard Corvair, 164 cubic inches or 2.7 liters. I'm very happy with it. I think on the last video I talked about flycorvair.com and William Wynn and his Corvair engine conversion process to flight. And I've got about 7 hours on this engine, just ground runs, but it's just running flawlessly. I'm very happy with it. Instrumentation, there's more engine instrumentation than I would normally see in an airplane or have. This has exhaust gas temperature, cylinder head temperature for both cylinder heads, left and right. Engine oil pressure, engine oil temperature, obviously attack. So it allows me to keep a real good eye on engine performance. And so far, it's just been great. So I'm looking forward to a lot of hours on that.
What would you change?
I built it exactly the plans, and a lot of folks have said this, and I have to agree with them. The cockpit, while it's roomy, there's a few things that interfere with my feet near the rudder pedals, and I think I would try to redesign that a little bit because sometimes I'm pressing what I think I'm pressing on a rudder pedal, but I'm pressing on a support piece. It's just I'm not comfortable with how the rudder pedals are set up right now. The other thing is the comfort of the seat. The way it was set up, it's a piece of plywood for your rear end, and it's a piece of plywood for your back. Now I've got a cushion I've got a cushion, but I'm going to need to do more as far as cushion that I can sit in there. Maybe even a lawn chair kind of cushion setup might make it better. But it's not, the fuel will last about 2.5 hours. It's a 16-gallon tank. And my guess is that's probably the endurance of my butt.
So Bill, one of the things that we haven't touched on so much is the idea that you built this entire airplane. It's not a kit plane, you build it from scratch from plans. Can you elaborate a little bit about how that building process was on the Flybaby?
Well, I built it from plans because I was interested in actually building an airplane. And I kind of got carried away because I not only did I build the airplane, I built the engine as well. But after having done it, every piece you have to make, and you don't think about that necessarily. You think, well, okay, I've got to cut some ribs out and I've got to cover it and all. But every metal piece in here started out as a plate of steel. And and some of it's relatively thick. And so when you're cutting out a piece of steel and trying to round off the edges and drill it, and what happens on some of the pieces, like there's a couple of C's that hold on each horizontal stabilizer. And you think you've got it right, but to get the radius exactly right, I don't have those kind of tools. You know, you're kind of bending it and doing your best, and the drawing says drill it this way, you drill it that way. By the time you got it, those holes don't line up. So a lot of frustrations working with the metal pieces in particular, because those take a fairly heavy-duty brake to get the right kind of angles that you want. I don't have that. I have a vise, I have a hammer, I've got a small brake, but that's about it. The wood, that's pretty easy. Of course, it's like a lot of things from the early 60s, like Popular Mechanics or Mechanics Illustrated. They always said, you know, you just need regular tools, a hammer, a saw, and you can build this. And that's what the plan said for this. Well, getting a bandsaw, getting a grinder, getting a drill press, rather inexpensive items, but really necessary. And they really helped with the quality of what came out. So all in all, I got what I wanted, which was to build an airplane. But it took 20 years and 3 weeks. My next plane will be a kit.
Well, there you go, a little follow-up visit with Mr. Bill Rotenberry and his Flybaby project. Boy, it came out pretty, and he's going to look forward to tons of fun in that little machine. Thanks an awful lot for coming along. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you're having fun, don't hesitate. Just go ahead and punch that subscribe button, get it over with, and we'll see you on the next one. For now, it's Captain T. So long.